In 1665, the Cambridge University was shut down due to a bubonic plague. That was the time when Sir Isaac Newton, working from home, wrote his famous theory of gravity. This tells us that there is a silver lining in every crisis. Due to the current situation of the world, this pandemic has left a number of us stuck at our home. What can be the best way to use this time right now to prepare ourselves for future? This video is going to talk about that. Welcome to a brand new episode of Canvas of Learning. First tip to stay sane and make the best use of this time would be learning a new skill. Imagine the number of times in life that you have said, I really wanted to learn how to play a guitar. I really wanted to learn a new language. I wanted to do this, but I don't have enough time to do that. This is your time to nail it down and learn something new and fresh. Remember this book by Josh Kaufman, The First 20 Hours, where he talks about if you devote the first 20 hours to learning a new skill, you can at least get to the basics of that. The point is dedication and focus towards a skill. You may think about writing a story, learning a new recipe, making a new novel for yourself, the language that you wanted to pursue in life, and you can follow any other things on that stream. But the first tip is to learn something new that you always wanted to do in your life. Having more time does not mean having more screen time. There is a tendency that we may fall the victim to this unlimited screen time by always being on our computers, our cell phones, and watching television throughout the day. How can we step back from that? Because if you are doing it constantly, your mind will slow down and feel numb. One suggestion is going back to the old school of reading hard copy books, right? Think about the 4 or 5 books that you would like to read in next 2 weeks and pick it up and give it a shot. But remember, reading is not just about the books. It's also about the books of life. As the famous Sufi poet says, "Lakka kitaba padhiyan, kadi apne aap nu padhiya nahi." You have read hundreds of books, but you haven't read your own book inside. And this is an opportunity to also dive in and to look at some of the things that are going inside within us as a person. Think about the existential questions of life. Think about what does it mean to be a human? Because this kind of situation invites an inner reading and reflection. During this situation, push the pause button of your life. When you push that, you realize the pattern of your habits. How much do you consume? What do you eat? How much do you waste? What do you need to buy? And what do you need not to buy to avoid that panic? These kind of reflections help us to refine our pattern of activity. And this is the best time to do that because your current circuit of routine activity is not there. So reflect on your routine habits and activities and think about ways in which you can minimize and minimalize some of the things that you are doing in life. Due to the current situation, a number of us would be spending more time at home with their family members. It may not be 2 hours a day, but it might be 24 hours in a day. What does that mean? For some of us, it may be exciting and rejuvenating, but for some of us, it may be equally frustrating. How do you get a fine balance? Maybe 2 things to go ahead with. 1, set some ground expectations with people around you about the space, about the schedules and the routines. 2nd, use this as an opportunity to bond with the family. Think about activities that you can do together. Can you cook with a family member? How about playing chess or a board game? Or praying together? Or maybe reading something together as a family? Or going back to your old photo albums? There can be multiple things to do together as a family that can bond you once again. The next point is about taking good care of your well-being, setting some good, healthy schedules for yourself and for people around you. When you think about health, think about physical health. Take some time out to do some exercise every day so that it keeps you fit and energetic throughout the day. Think about health in terms of emotional and spiritual health. For a number of people, this may be a very emotional moment because either their family members are affected by that, or maybe they themselves are affected by that, or maybe they are watching news every day and they are very concerned about the wider human community, right? Take some time out for your own spiritual and emotional well-being. For some people, yoga or meditation or just sitting and deep breathing can be a very effective way to go ahead with it. When we talk about well-being, also remember the spaces that we live in promote that well-being. Decorate your spaces that you live in so that you feel like a belonging to that space. Good spaces spark good ideas. The last tip, but I think the most important tip, would be to look out for others. What makes us human? That would be the question that this crisis brings to us. Think about what is your duty towards your neighbors. What about the most vulnerable in society? How can you reach out to them? In different parts of the world, there are neighborhood groups, there are government organizations, there are community organizations coming out to support people in this time of crisis. What can be your role? Think about, can you talk to people, maybe over a phone call, especially elderly in your family who may be feeling most isolated at this point of time? Think about giving a call to your parents, grandparents, uncles and aunts who might be pretty hopeless at this situation. How can you revive some hope and give them some kind of comfort in talking to them? And again, reach out to those who are vulnerable in society in a meaningful way. In the end, what I can say is these are unprecedented times in our generation. Let's come together to carve a path that helps us to come out of this crisis as a global human community. I wish you good health. Stay tuned to Life and Canvas of Learning. Hope to see you soon.